Alright guys, we're back today with another CSGO inventory video. This time it's going to be a $50 budget for a black and white inventory. We had requests for black, we had requests for white, we had them for black and white as well. So I just decided we're going to go black and white theme. We're going to go $50 for it, and it's going to be lovely. So make sure you hit that like button if you do enjoy the video, hit that subscribe button when you're around here, and let's dive right into the $50 black and white inventory you can build right now in CSGO. It's worth noting these prices are accurate as of the 19th of April, and the first we're going to go for, which I think is the best, honestly, for a black and white combo, is the USPS Ticket to Hell. This is going to be a minimal wear version for $2. You do see stat track on it, but as I always say, disclosure, all these prices are for non-stat track weapons. The stat track is purely there because the USP I own is a stat track version, and then it just shows regardless of what the skin generating I'm doing. But this looks amazing, top-notch skin for this kind of thing. The AK, we are going to go with a slate, and it's going to have ×4 RMR stickers on it. They're going to be the duty stickers because they're some of the whitest stickers you can get in the game. They do have that little colour pop behind it, but it's mostly black and white. The total cost for this, with the field tested slate, is going to be $5.16. I think this is for a black and white inventory. You're kind of stuck on the AK. It has to be a slate, and it has to have some stickers on it. For the Glock, it's going to be a minimal wear Catacombs. It's going to be basically $50 to pick this one up. It's mostly black with the kind of like grey-white accents of the skulls. But, you know, it ties into the black and white theme. For the M4A4, we're going to pick up what is a favourite of mine. It's going to be the Magnesium. It's going to be a minimal wear, and it's only 40 cents. For me, I have this with 4 of the North Armor holos on it. Like, armor holes on this gun just look incredible, and it's such a cheap craft you can do. And you'll notice through a lot of this video, there's a lot of fantastic black and white cheap combos, and then you just spend that little bit of money on like the AK, the A1S, the AWP, that kind of thing. Over in the A1S side of things, we're going to actually pick up a Nitro minimal wear for $4.50. This does look amazing with some like Fnatic or Virtus Pro stickers on it. So if you pick up some cheap versions of those and add it onto it, that's just a way to elevate your inventory a little bit more. For the Desert Eagle, we're going to go for the Urban DD Pat, and this one I think is essentially much like the ticket to Hell. It works so well for a black and white inventory because of how consistent the mix of colors is, and the wear on this on minimal wear looks fantastic. It's just under $3, but this is actually a very nice Deagle. I was never a big fan of these camo skins, but now that I'm expecting them more and more, I think when you're going for a themed inventory like this, like you got the purple Digipat USP as well, like that kind of stuff just works so well. And now we have the big spender. A whole $28 is going to get in an AWP chromatic aberration well worn. Now the wear pattern on this one is exactly 0.5, and you can see there's still a lot of pink on it. The further you go down the well worn, and you could actually even dip into battle scar for this and probably save a little bit of money if you want to, if you don't want that much pink. But for me, when you're looking at ops, it's like you had like the elite build, you had the Dream Fever, whatever it's called, and it's like those sort of options, but they're not great. So I think spending big on the op and this one's good. You get black with white accents within that bit of pink through it, and then because you've got like everything else is black and white, you can have these little splashes of color here and there on the different weapons, and it works really well. So as you go, the higher the wear you go on this, the less pink there's going to be on it, but it'll look a little bit more scuffed, so it's just finding that balance. For the P250, we're going to go with a rebuilt and minimal wear, and this is from the new Revolution cases actually. The black on this one, I'm going to say, is a little bit more like grey-ish, but it still works nicely. It's got those little white accents on it, and it's like a more realistic grey, sort of gunmetal grey on the gun. For the Galil, I couldn't not spend the $2 on a minimal wear tuxedo. Like, literally, you're thinking black and white inventory. Tuxedo is possibly the most perfect skin for it. I mean, I'm saying a lot of skins here are fantastic or perfect for it, but it's just true. And I like this. Like, I said purple was my favorite, but now I'm thinking, like, in regards to like the value for money, and we've got 20 skins in here, man, black and white is clean, and then you get black and white skins that have little color pops here and there, or do sticker crafts if you want to put a bit of personalization onto it. For our lovely Jewel Berettas, it's going to be the Elite 1.6, and these are a very similar colour to the P250 we've just looked at as well. This is that gunmetal grey, very realistic and clean. I mean, you could argue, oh, why don't you just use the default Jewel Berettas, but for the sake of 40 cents, man, just pick these up and they look slick. The Famous is probably the only skin in this that didn't have fantastic options in my opinion. This is a faulty wiring, minimal wear. I say for the sort of budget we're looking at, you really want to go and like get a Mecha Industries as your Famous for this sort of collection, but with how we spent the budget on the ARP, it didn't allow for getting a Mecha Industries into this, but that could be an upgrade path. Now, there's actually a couple of options for the 5.7, but I've opted for a field-tested boost protocol. Again, its core of it is white and black, but it does have that little pop of colour just on the top of the gun, and it's that orangey sort of pinky glow, and I think overall, like, yes, this is a black and white inventory, and that's what you want the core to be, but like, I know the gloves aren't included in the budget, but it still works with the gloves if that's what you're going for long term. So I think definitely lots of black and white, but then having some with those color pops like the chromatic aberration, like this boost protocol, it just fits in really nicely overall. For the Mac 10, we're going for what I think might be the most popular cheap skin in the game. Like whenever I see TikToks or YouTube videos, anything about like buying cheap inventories, this snared always pops up onto it. And I don't understand why. We're spending 21 cents in this case to get a really detailed skin that fits the theme. It's such a good cheap option. We're basically blasting through the SMGs all at once here because we've now got an MP9 Featherweight, another one from the Revolution collection, and you can sort of tell how similar it is to the Rebuilt and the sort of design style and how it looks. But for me, super clean. We're going for a minimal wear here. You can go field test it because this is very much a brightness skin, so it doesn't change too much if you're skimping on that like 20-30 cents. For the MP7, we're going to rock with an armor core, which is a mostly black base in this case, and then it's more silver at the top rather than white, but for the sake of 24 cents for minimal wear, we're going to pick this one up and add it into the collection. And the Tech 9 is going to be super cheap at like 6 cents, and it's going to be an urban DD pat again. This is minimal wear, much like the Deagle. It just works so nicely for this sort of combination, and it's hard not to pick this up for how cheap it is. And then SGs, which I think you should be getting more of, and I know this one's probably going to verge people a little bit more to it's got too much red on it, and that's fine if you think so. You don't have to pick it up. But for me, minimal wear, under $1. It has that black sort of gunmetal-y grey core. It's got a lot of white text on it, and then it's got some red accents. So again, like we're saying with a couple of the other weapons through this, big focus on just purely black and white, but we can also have some of those little colour pops here and there to liven it up. I on to the third last skin now, which is going to be the AUG Tomcat. And this was actually the one I planned for the end, and then I realised I had some budget left. This one, in hindsight, isn't perfect for black and white. You know, it's more of this like sort of washed, like bluish colour in the core of it. But I think with how the light hits it, like the top can look like a glowy white. So we're going to sneak it in for the sake of 19 cents in this, but you don't necessarily have to pick it up. Now, as much as I love my Spring Twilly Scout, I think I might need to upgrade soon to this parallax because it looks amazing. Now, I mean, if you watch the videos, I use the chromatic Galil. Like, I own one. I put it in videos a lot. Obviously, we've got a chromatic aberration here. We've got chromatic aberration in this video as well. And then it's a parallax, which is a similar sort of style of gun. I think this is great. For the sake of a $2.25 field tested skin for something you might get out on, like, force rounds. Or if you're, like, doing a hero weapon on an eco. Man, it looks so clean. And then the last option is going to be a field tested Swag 7 for 43 cents. This is mostly black with that like whitey silver detailing on the gun. And that's going to round it off. Now in total, these 20 skins cost $53.82. So we are a little bit over the $50 budget. I tend to run with a 10% buffer. So anything between like $45 and $55 is where we aim to get these videos. Obviously, from like the last 3 skins alone, the Swag 7, the Parallax, and the Tomcat, they're essentially $3 in themselves. So if you're like fully stuck on the $50, you can just remove those last 3 skins, maybe even the Cyberforce as well if you want to get under $50. But I wanted to try and give as many options as possible within that buffer room. So guys, you can let me know down below in the comments which skin was your favourite from this, and if you think there's any I've missed out in the $50 budget. Obviously, as we go further up the budgets into like say $250 black and white, we can maybe take a look at some Asimovs or skins like that have a bit more flair, bring a bit more outside. I'll say the more basic black and white skins. But I think for $50, this is a lovely collection. You can build up your inventory. I think next up we're going to have orange as well, and then we should be progressing onto a $100 budget. So I hope you guys are looking forward to that. Make sure you hit that like button if you enjoy it. Hit the subscribe button when you're around here. And also, as I say, we've got a Discord, which is linked down below, where you can join that to discuss anything between esports, skin collecting, just Counter-Strike in general. We'd love to have you guys there. Check it out down below and join the community. But well, thank you very much for watching. We'll catch you in tomorrow's video, and goodbye.